Everyone's muted.
Right. Cool. So everything's all go. Crystal Fun Run, week 6. Welcome everyone to our training call tonight, and we have a very, very special guest with us this evening. This lady is a mum that comes from Queensland. She is the Isobody Grand Final winner. Also happens to be an ISA millionaire. So she's going to give us some absolutely awesome inspiration tonight and really talk us through her journey and what she's found doing isogenics. She's 8-star platinum, 3-star crystal executive. It's Tami Shervey. How are you, Tami?
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be on the call with you all. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to just kick it off with an intention that I am not a trainer, but I'm here just to inspire and empower you to understand that you're no different to me and to each and every isogenics millionaire out there. So we all do things very differently, and some of you are going to fall in love with what it is that I have to say, and others are going to think that I'm probably a little bit crazy, and that's totally cool. You know, if I can help you in any way, shape or form, then I've done my job tonight. So thank you so much for asking me onto your call. I felt absolutely honored. Human as, got really nervous, looked at the questions and thought, oh, I don't know, and then decided just that I'm going to share, you know, from my heart, and hopefully you guys can take away a little bit of gold to help you pursue what it is that you're trying to achieve in life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone's got their pen and paper ready, because I know I have. But just firstly, could you please tell us your story, how you got started with isogenics and how that kind of led on to you becoming an Isobody finalist and building your business?
Yeah, sure. So I've got to take you guys on a little bit of a journey, right? Because I was introduced to isogenics nearly 5 years ago, and this company seriously is my saving grace. So before isogenics, I was a tired, stressed, overwhelmed, overweight, and extremely broke mum. I wasn't just, you know, financially bankrupt, but I was emotionally bankrupt as well. My first pregnancy, I put on 35 kilos. My second pregnancy, I put on 32 kilos. And by the time I had my third child, I was weighing in at 109 kilos. Have we got any mums on the call tonight? Yeah. So you guys would understand when I say that I'd completely lost myself. I completely felt that I didn't know who it was that I was looking in at the mirror. I hated my reflection. I hated what I saw. And I just struggled on a day-to-day basis. I just felt broken. So I was that woman that hid behind a broken smile and an aching heart, pretending that everything was going to be all right. And, you know, I feel, you know, I thought about this one piece, you know, leading up to celebration. And, you know, they asked me to share my story, and I was going to delve really like. Managing a clinic, and she said, Tam, we know you're really unhappy, and we know you're not stable. We found this company that we think is really going to be able to assist us, you know, make people look better and feel better from within, because it was a cosmetic injecting company that I was working for. And she said, we need to use you as a guinea pig. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'd try and Tony Ferguson, OptiSlim, Celebrity Slim, Lemon Detox Diet, Kim Kardashian checks. Like, I'd done it all and put on all of the weight again. And she said to me, Tammy, I need to help change the lives of thousands of people, starting with you. I need you to trust me on this. I'm going to fly you down to Sydney. And for me, I was just like, free holiday, sure, I'll come down and learn a little bit more about this bogus company, this network marketing company, this company that I just thought was I just felt that it just didn't feel right for me. And I flew down and I listened. Actually, my first exposure to isogenics was David and Irene and Miller. And at that time, they were earning $2,000 a week, and they were both still a little bit overweight. And I was just like, man, they sat there and spoke about the products, and I kind of was really judgmental. I had that skepticism about me and about the company. And, I thought, well, if these products are so good, why are they still overweight? And then, further on during the day, he said to me, well, to me, there was 15 people in there. He said, I can assure you, if you stay on auto ship and you just share organically, you will earn $1 million within 5 years. And I was just like, that was it. I was out. I was like, I had more chance of winning the lottery than I did to win or to earn $1 million with Isogenics. So I said no. And little to my knowledge, a brown box kind of arrived at my door, and my auntie had enrolled me without me knowing. And she said, Tam, we've really got to do this. This is the thing that's going to really save your life. And I was like, ready to commit her to a mental institution, to be honest with you. And I thought that we probably, I could probably win this kind of battle with her by taking the products back to front, the wrong way. I still drank beer and ate pizza. I was a toxic, like really toxic as F person. I can't stress to you guys how bad I was. And I still managed in that first 30 days doing everything backwards to release 6 kilos and 42 centimeters. And I was like, wow, maybe there's something in this. I better give it another go. And then she invested in me again, and she flew me down to my first celebration. And it was that celebration there that I saw the IsoBody challenge. And it was like this light bulb went off. Like, I was that girl sitting in the back corner of the room with her arms folded back up straight, thinking, I got to get out of here. They're going to start throwing fire around. Like, I was just like, nah, this company is not for me. And they fed me a bar, and I was like really grumpy about that as well. I was like, where's the food? But anyways, it was the IsoBody challenge that I saw, and they were offering, I was watching these people walk across the stage, and they were offering them money to look good. And I knew that I had a lot of weight to lose. And so the type of person that I was just like, well, I can do that. If they're going to pay me money to look and feel good, why not? And I entered in that IsoBody challenge. And unfortunately, I didn't get to finish that one because that's when I fell pregnant with my third child. Guys, be careful if, you're flushing your body and, having a little bit of fun, because your body kind of responds really well. And that's what happened to me. I fell pregnant. Anyways, fast forward that bit. I knew that now I had what it was that I was looking for in life. I had my answer. And I gave birth to my third child, weighed in at that 109 kilos still. And decided I made a commitment to myself and my family that this was going to be the thing that, saw me take out the rest of my life the way I chose to do it. And I entered the IsoBody challenge, released 35 kilos, and realized that, anything was possible with this company. And I ended up winning that $15,000. So that was the start. And so for anyone or any team member that's kind of bringing or speaking to anyone in regards to Isogenics, it's okay for people to be skeptical, because that was me. And, if you love on them and believe in them and show them and paint that picture for them, I promise you they will come around, because I hear it all the time. So yeah, that's a snippet, a very little snippet of, my journey, that little bit. But when we move into the next few questions, I'll kind of expand on that a little bit more.
Awesome. Oh, that's freaking absolutely amazing, Tami. And that's an amazing story. And yeah, it cracked me up then before when he said, you're putting all this good stuff in your body, and then you have a little bit of fun. Sorry if I don't know if my internet connection's going, but I'll just keep going. But how have you managed to share Isogenics, being an everyday mum with three kids, and what kind of things helped your business and stuff? Helped you build?
Okay, so for me, this is really, really important, guys. It was the IsoBody challenge that helped me build my business. So I wasn't building prior to really doing the IsoBody challenge. People just started asking me, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that's my first tip to you. If you're not entered in the IsoBody challenge, do it ASAP. Okay. People really, they're watching you. Although they may not be commenting, they're watching. And so I entered the IsoBody challenge, and then, halfway through that challenge, the more people were asking me, Tam, what are you doing? What are you doing? I understood. It's like something again, just kind of clicked. And I understood that this was so much bigger than me or or anything, me, the money, anything. This was a way that I could completely not only transform my life, but the lives of thousands of other people as well. So from there, I just made a commitment to, again, to myself. And, I use the words, I throw the word commitment around a lot, because in this business, if you're building this business, you need to commit. That's one of the biggest, the biggest things I can say. It's a commitment. You commit to yourself, you commit to your family, you commit to your, whatever it is that you choose to do, it's that commitment. And that's what I did. And so I then started putting challenges together to kind of inspire people into my vision. And, being a busy mum, we've got mums on the call. It was so easy for me to say, I'm too busy. I've got dancing. I've got swimming lessons. I've got to make school lunch. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. But see, my pain point, you see, when I said that I was bankrupt, I remember, scratching around in my center console, scraping out 5 and 10 cent pieces, trying to collect enough money to be able to buy noodles and milk and bread for my kids' school lunches. So that pain point was the thing that I just knew that I'm not the only mother struggling. And if I don't do this, then what am I going to do? Am I going to stay living this mediocre life for the rest of my life? I realized that Isagenix really is everything that we possibly want. It is our vehicle, whether it be for physical health, whether it's financial health. I could see the reality in that. I could see where this could take me. So, I put the excuses aside, and, I'm not going to say it wasn't challenging. Every mum on this call is going to understand, every dad even, not even just mums, but every dad understands that, you work with life and things are going to pop up, and the universe is literally going to throw shit in your, in your way to see how bad you truly want it. But if you can find that pain point, that severe pain point where you're looking at your life and thinking, fuck this, I don't want to live like this anymore. Sorry to swear, but that's the reality of it. I do not want to live like this anymore. I've got a choice. I've got a vehicle. It can take me wherever it is that I want to be taken to. I've got to put in a little bit of hard work, and I've got to stay consistent. I've got to show up. I've got to inspire people into my vision. You just get that shit done. Being a mom or being a dad or being a family man, whatever it is the most rewarding job in the world, but it's the most underpaid job. We have Isagenix. And that allows us to work around our families. It allows us to pick and choose our hours. So the reality is there's no excuse if you want this bad enough. There just is no excuse. And once I worked that out, that was a game changer for me. I literally was, getting up an hour earlier. I was on Facebook. I was messaging. I was literally, reaching out in the pockets of my time. And I mean, I had a sick kid as well, guys. Remember, I had a really sick kid, and I just had to make it work. It was that pain point. I didn't allow my distractions or, my excuses kind of hinder me away from my vision, because I knew what was possible. And so that level of commitment, being a mum, dad, or working, if you're working 40 hours a week, it doesn't matter, because this is only a reality now. If you choose to move forward and really step it up a notch and get uncomfortable and understand, you're going to have to make sacrifices. It's going to be worth it. Your reality is, right here, right now, this is your reality, but it doesn't mean it has to be a reality in the future. And that's what I saw. That's exactly what I saw. So, I just shared. I gave, poured my heart and soul into every single person that I met. I looked for their pain point. I didn't, I knew that I wasn't the only one who was struggling. So, being a mum, we connect. We've got other mothers. We've got a whole heap of people that we can speak to. And even if you're not a mum, there's a lot of people you can speak to, as long as you dig deep and you find that pain point for them. There's no stopping you. Like, you can, everyone needs what we have. And that's how I built this, being a busy mum, finding people's pain points, being a product of the product, inspiring them into my vision, bringing them into the Ice Body Challenge. That challenge is a thing that saved my life. And, each and every one of you on this call is no different to me. Absolutely no different. It's just that I found my pain point a lot faster than maybe some of you guys have. But now if we can kind of recognize that pain point, there'll be no stopping you. You just commit, you decide, and just go for it. So that's how I built my business, being a busy mum.
Wow. Absolutely outstanding. Who else has got goosebumps right now? Here's on Vicky next to
Speechless.
Absolutely awesome. That was so cool. But we'll kind of bring things back a bit, and I want to rewind a little bit with you, Tami. So since this is the Crystal Reset and everyone on this call is aiming for those Crystal ranks, like when you were first going for like manager, director, executive, how did you feel, and what were some of the things you were going through? Like, was there, I don't think it was director back when you were probably going for it, was there? Or, yeah, fill us in when you were going for executive.
Yeah, so it was different. It was different. Now, we didn't have we didn't have the tools that we have now to make this business simple. And I really want to touch on, we overcomplicate everything. Everything that we're doing, we're overcomplicating, we're comparing, we're literally making this so much harder than it has to be, right? So I was really blessed because, we had very limited exposure to what everyone else was doing. And so we had to come up and create what it is that we wanted to do and how we wanted to lead and how we wanted to bring people in. And this is what I love. This is what I fell in love with this business. It's a business of innovation. I don't care what anyone says. It's a business of innovation. You are your own CEO. You get to choose what it is that you have and how it is you want to build. 100% utilize the tools that we have now. But back then we didn't have them. So from that, I didn't understand the compensation plan, but the one thing I had inside of me was this competitive streak. And, I wanted to know, what was the fastest, that someone did this, or, what would I have to do to get here? And bless Paul McInerney's soul, he was my upline. Like I had my auntie Nikki and then my upline. I would just constantly I was reaching out to him constantly. And I think this is another tip, guys. If you were serious about building this business, you're going to reach out. Do not wait for, anyone to reach out for you. You reach out for them. You show them your commitment, because that's what I did. And that's why Paul nurtured me. And he didn't know, like, honestly, back then, Paul was like, bless his soul. But I mean, I can't even say the word I'm going to say because it may offend him, but he knew nothing. And so, but the thing with me is I kept on reaching out because I wanted it. So that, that's really, really important. If you guys want this, reach out, don't wait for Bianca or Adam or anyone, reach out and just go for it. But I kind of lost my train of thought. That's right. So with it, it was like this challenge that I set for myself, working through the ranks. I knew that I needed to be speaking to people. I knew that the type of action that I was taking was going to give me my desired result, right? I left my bullshit excuses at the door because there was no other option for me. I was desperate. I needed this to work. And then I committed to myself. And so what happened with that was once I just decided to go from, and this is really important to remember too, guys, for a year, we sat at consultant because I was just mucking around. Like I didn't get it. I didn't see the vision until I won the IsaBody Challenge. At the IsaBody Challenge that I won, I think we were manager. I don't even know if we were 1 star, but we were manager. Yeah, I think we were manager 1 star. And then we went to celebration and I saw these people earning this kind of money. And I was like, well, you know what? They're no different to me. So what we need to do is get to director, and then we need to get to executive. How am I going to do that? I'm going to find a team. I'm going to build a team, and I'm going to run. I didn't wait for anyone else. And I dragged a lot of people, but the ones who didn't want to run with me, I was just like, that's okay, because this is where I'm going. This is what I'm doing. And so when we made that commitment, we actually went from 1 star to 3 star in a week. But it was because we decided to do it. So 1 star to 3 star in 1 week. Wow. Now, Paul said that couldn't be done. I loved being challenged, right? And when he said to me, you can't do that, I'm like, well, watch me. We received a call from Kathy Coover because that jump hadn't been done before. And, in that time, the reason I share that with you is because I need you guys to understand that I didn't know what I was doing. And I believe no one knows how to build this business. Not even Brett and Sammy, Paul, all the Isogenics millionaires. No one knows what they're doing. They're just doing it. They're just in action. They're just making up as they go along. Yes, they've got systems. Yes, they've got structures. But there's no right or wrong way. And so that's what we just committed. And there was fear. There was, self-doubt. There was I had all of these limiting beliefs and these stories going on, but there was a commitment that kept me going. And so we just did it, if that makes sense. And then from I think it was 3 star, he challenged me again. He's like, 10, what are you doing next? And I'm like, what's the next rank? Because I didn't know what 4 star was. I didn't know what 5 star was. And he said, well, it's 4 star, then 5 star. I said, has anyone ever jumped from 3 to 5 star? And he said, never in the company's history. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to do it. He said, how are you going to do it? I said, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I believe I can, so I'm just going to do it. And the following week, we went to Top Achievers, came back, and I just committed again, got my hustle and heart on, and we spoke to a lot of people. We dug deep, and we jumped from 3 to 5 star in that week, right? And that was as well, I need you guys to understand this, that these were all backing off an IsaBody challenge, right? So my first challenge, and then we backed and I started another challenge. And remember, I'm bringing people into the challenges here. This is what I'm doing. This is what you guys need to understand. Inspire your people into your challenges. The IsaBody challenge is the biggest tool that we have, and it's so friggin' underutilized. It does my head in. Like, seriously, that's what we did. So from 3 to 5, and then my third challenge that I did, he said to me, what's next? I said, I want to max out my business. And I think there'd only been 3 people that had maxed out their business. He's like, you're only 5 star. And I said, I don't care. I said, what do I have to do? And he explained to me we had to hold executive, which we were. So we were going to get matching cycles. And he said to me, Tam, no one's ever gone from 5 to 7 star in that big jump. And I was like, watch me. And I didn't know, once again, how to do it. It's true story. I didn't know how we were going to do it, but I just committed. I rang my mum on a Friday morning and I said to her, Mum, what are you doing today? And she's like, I got the day off. And I said, we're going to go 5 star to 6 star today. And she's like, how are we going to do it? I said, I don't know. We're just going to enroll people. Picked up the phone. We enrolled 13 people on President's Packs that day. Picking up the phone. True shit. 13 President's Packs. And then we didn't just jump. We didn't just jump from 5 because we were already sitting at 5. We then went over. We were halfway to 7 star. And on the Saturday morning, I rang her again. I said, Mum, I know this is tough, but I'm pretty sure we can get to 7 star. And she said, Tam, we need 50 more cycles. I said, we just enrolled 13 President's Packs yesterday. I'm pretty sure we can do it again. And we committed. We picked up the phone. And we ended up going from 5 to 7 star over that weekend. No shit, no word of a lie. Over the weekend. So we literally just jumped it. So it was a Friday night, it was 6 star. Saturday night was 7 star. And that come down to choice, commitment. What I need you guys to understand is I'm not telling you this to impress you. It's to impress upon you that what will happen when you commit to actually doing it. Because remember, the difference between you and I is the fact that I just chose to pick up the phone. I just chose to believe that I could do it. I just chose to inspire people into my business. I just made that choice. Yeah. And that's what we did. So from there, we chose to go to max out. And that max out happens maybe 3 weeks after we hit 7 star. And that was just because I was kind of over the hustle. I was over the race and I just wanted to prove that it could be done. So each and every one of you can do exactly what I did. Now, you guys need to understand, I had no network marketing background, none at all. All I did was went to school, I partied, I was into boys, I had so much fun, like so much. I was a really naughty kid. Remember coming into this, I had no self-belief whatsoever. I was overweight, I was tired, I was stressed. I hated what I saw in the mirror. But everything changed when I got those products into my body. Everything changed when I went to an event. Everything changed when I chose to commit to that IsaBody challenge. Each and every one of you on this call has the same tools that I had to make this work. Every single one of you. Okay? There's nothing different between you and I right now. So that's the reason why I shared that. It was different. It was different back then, purely because I didn't have anyone to compare myself to. What we're facing now is we're comparing ourselves to everyone else who's going really fast or slow or whatever. I didn't have that, but I still choose to this day to block that noise out because I choose to do this for me, for my team, and I literally have a desire to inspire. Sorry, that was just like a brain dump.
No, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Oh my God. And just so many words. I got so many little notes down here. You got to choose how to build. Like, that was just awesome. Choose how you're going to build. And I love this. Left the bullshit at the door and I just did it. Just watch me. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. So cool. Yeah. You've pretty much blown away my last question because I was going to say there's 2 weeks left to hit Crystal Manager and the Crystal Reset. So we've still got a lot of the team who are really close to hitting Crystal Manager. What can you say, or what can you do to some words of advice to hit this rank in the next 2 weeks and then further on and progress
Okay.
further, I guess.
All right, so I'm going to think about this for a minute because I'm looking at you guys like you're my team, and I do things a little bit differently, and it's purely because I come from a soul-based level. Like, I want to make sure that each and every one of you really understand what it is and why it is you're doing this, okay? So I want you to think about who here, just raise your hand, who here's going for Crystal Manager right now? Yeah. All right, who here, true shit, who here believes that they can do it? Like, honest. Yeah. All right, perfect. So what I want you to do, this would be my only advice, right? So we've got 2 weeks to go before Crystal Manager. When you jump off the call with me, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to literally feel into what it feels like actually having achieved that rank. Because what I did, and what I did each and every time that I won the IsaBody Challenge, or that I went from, you know, the 1 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, I literally breathed in, breathed out, and I felt what it felt like when I achieved it. And I wrote this letter to my future self, stating every single emotion that I would be feeling when I achieved it. And I wrote it like it was my present. It was happening. I could feel it. I could smell it. I could taste it, right? Crystal Manager is not going to be too hard for you guys to achieve. It really, really isn't. You know, I believe that each and every one of you who put their hands up right now can reach it if you actually feel into the feeling of what it feels like to have already made it. Yeah. And from there, you just need to get into major action. So your letter might be, you know, I don't know, Jack. Hey, Jack, you know, whatever the date is, 2 weeks, you know, 2 weeks from today, whatever that date is, you know, it's Monday, the whatever. And I'm sitting here completely and totally in awe with the hustle and heart that come from my 2 weeks of inspiring people into my vision. I'm sitting here right now, sipping on a replenish, just looking back and understanding, you know, what it was that I chose to do to actually get to where I am. And my God, am I proud. Something like, I don't know, whatever it is, it's going to be your words, and you're going to feel it. That once you have that emotion, you've got that feeling because you've seen it in your mind. And you guys need to understand, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands, right? Bob Proctor speaks about that all the time. You can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So why don't you play with that a little bit more, put a little bit of a spin on it, actually commit to yourself, write to yourself as if you've already done it, and then get to work. Because realistically, the reality is, to get to Crystal Manager, you need 2 consultants. So that means you just need a desire to inspire 2 people to be able to desire to inspire their 2 people. It's that simple. And yes, it means you're going to have to pick up the phone. Yes, it means you're going to have to get uncomfortable. Yes, it means that you're going to have to put your bullshit excuses to the side. Yes, life's going to throw challenges in your way. Yes, things are going to pop up and you're just not going to want to choose to do it, but you're just going to do it because you've committed to yourself in that letter. You've felt that emotion. You've seen it in your mind, which means you're going to hold it in your hands. So what I would say to you is believe that you can and you will. Everyone would always say to me, Tami, how do you do things? I'm like, I don't know. I just believe I can, so I do it. Because we are the only ones that stop us from achieving whatever. You can have anything and everything in life that you truly want if you believe you can. So if you truly want to get to Crystal Manager, you'll write that letter, you'll feel it, you'll see it, you'll get into action, and you just get it done. It's that simple.
Oh my God. Awesome. So cool. So the big key is just get into action, guys. If you want it, you just got to get into action. That's all it is. So, yeah. Tami,
there's no right, there's no wrong.
Yeah,
there's no right, there's no wrong on how you build this. You build it your way, what feels right for you. As long as you're coming from the heart, you literally have to come from the heart with this. This shit's not about you. It's about who you're going to serve, how you're going to empower that other person to get out of that pain threshold. If you drop the ego, leave the ego at the door, and you truly want to make a difference in these people's lives, they're going to join you. As if they're not going to want to be a part of that. You've painted this picture for them. You've painted it so that they can see what lies ahead for them. Because remember, guys, there's a lot of the time we live in such a toxic world that all we see is the negative shit. You guys need to be that light, that spark that just is completely there for them to see what is possible. You'll hit your crystal manager with no doubt in my mind, I guarantee. I actually believe some of you will go from crystal manager to crystal director just in time before celebration, to be honest with you, if you get into action.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, hey guys, Tammy's actually got to shoot off because she's got another Zoom call to jump on. She is absolutely amazing, really busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unmute all the lines just so we can show our appreciation to Tami. So go loud, guys.
Excellent, Tami.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Incredible.
Good. Thank you so much.
Absolutely rocked it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank you. Fun. Thank you for letting me down.
Okay, that's enough. Hey, thank you so much, Tami. Thank you so much for coming on our call, and we appreciate it so much. So, yeah, thank you heaps.
We're gonna get a quick photo.
Oh, yep, quick photo.
All right, ready, guys?
Put your video on quick, guys.
Video on if you can. Get the shaka bras out. All right, 3, 2, 1. Nailed it. Thanks, Tami.
Thank you, Tami.
Tami.
Thank you, Tami. That was amazing.
Awesome.
I think she's frozen. Oh, there she is. Go on.
She's off. Oh, cool. So, guys, that was Tami Shervey, Isogenics Millionaire. And
I'm literally speechless.
oh my God, that was so cool.
I just got powed, just like massively.
Oh,
that was nuts, eh? It was so intense.
So, guys,
boom, here you go, and then out.
What we were going to do now for the last half an hour of this call was open that up to you guys. So she said to me, like, I've only got half an hour, but I'm going to fire your team up something severe, and all your guys' teams up something severe.
Put a rocket up there.
Yeah, put a rocket up there. And what were some big takeaways you got from that call, guys? Because I've got so many notes in my diary, it's not even funny. I started scribbling places because I was trying to write so fast. But anyway, what were some very powerful things that you got from that call? Please share with us.
I loved people don't know what they're doing. They're just doing it. How cool is that? It doesn't matter what you do. You just have to do it. It doesn't matter what you say. You just have to say it. It doesn't matter who you talk to. You just have to talk to someone. I freaking loved that because it just literally takes away any excuse that anyone could have because it's like, you just got to do it. So I loved that.
Awesome, B.
Also, just the importance of belief. So I don't know how many people actually take the time to like visualize and use their senses to experience things as if they've already been done. You know, we get told about it so many times at events. Belief is everything. You know, get all your core areas of belief to a 10 out of 10. But we get so caught up in the noise of just like getting ready to get ready that, you know, like what B said, nobody's actually doing anything really. You know, they're doing the stuff that stops them doing stuff. And you know, myself included, I get caught in that like often. But as soon as you catch yourself, you know, take a moment to just feel what it would be like to be on stage as an ISObody winner, as an Isogenics millionaire, as a Start 1000 member. And me and Adzi are living examples, by the way. We only had a call about this today. Of the fact that when we were living in the old house, we used to say to each other all the time and like visualize it, that we would be on stage together accepting our Start 1000 awards. We used to do it all the time. And we even went through a phase of about 1 or 2 months where we would talk deliberately in the future tense as these things have already happened. And we do it all the time. Be like, oh, Hadzi, how's it going today, mate? How do you feel having grabbed your award today? And be like, mate, it feels so good. And it did. Like, we hadn't done it yet, but we felt like we had. And then, you know, a bit over a year later, we're going to be up there. So it's too many examples not for it to be 100% super the best thing you could possibly do.
Like it literally, guys, that moment we talked about so often, and we both got an email today from Isagenix Corporate saying, be backstage at Celebration at this time to get ready to go on stage as Start 1000 members. And I called Sam as soon as I got the email. He hadn't even had time to check his email. And I said to him, bro, it's happening. The thing we talked about a year ago is coming true. And so everything Tami said, we can do with anything. It's just like you almost forget. Like Sam and I mainly were doing that because we wanted it so bad and we were just so excited and our personalities clicked that we both just felt comfortable speaking into the future together. We didn't really do it on purpose, I wouldn't say. We almost forgot that was a power that we could utilize on a daily basis no matter what it is that we want. But here it is happening. I did the same thing with Isobody Challenge. I stated it at the start. And so it's so, like she said, it's so easy to forget that we can do that about anything.
Even Bianca and Adam are together as a result of Adam's pre-manifestation of arriving at Celebration, by the way, guys. So don't forget that. It can be love, success, money, recognition, whatever you like. I remember him declaring it. And look at them now.
On the plane, I said to Sam was excited because we were going over there, and me and Sam were like, we were just new friends. When you get a new friend, a new guy mate, it can be nice to like hang out and go out together as guys, as single guys and stuff. And I said to Sam on the plane, I was like, Sam, I have a feeling I'm going to meet the love of my life at this event. And he laughed at me and he goes, whatever, man, whatever, bro. And literally came back from Celebration in a relationship. How does that happen?
Gotcha.
I can't see Bianca's face, but I'd love to. I really like that. Believe that you can and you will. We are the only people who hold ourselves back. I really like that because that's an issue for me. So that was really cool to hear that.
Awesome. Thanks, Mum. And I definitely want to hear from everyone else, like especially you mums. Come on, give us what your biggest takeaways are. I know, Annalise, you're ready to talk, are you?
Yeah. I'm not a mum, I don't think. I'm joking, I'm not a mum. So for me, the biggest thing was actually what you said, which is leave all the bullshit at the door and just do it. Because I think, especially me, I find like a lot of excuses. Like I've been working 7 days, like I've been doing 2 internships and working and being sick and everything like that. But like at the end of the day, it's not impossible to have done more than I have done. Do you know what I mean? So that for me was really, really big. So I'm excited to have heard that.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Please just speak up, guys.
I guess it's just the her just reiterating like no excuses, and it doesn't matter that you're busy with kids and like your day is already hectic. There are so many ways that you can like fit things in, and if you want it, then you do it. Because like she said, like what's the alternative? Just to stay how you are. So that for me, I was just like, oh yes, like. Because that's what I say to myself all the time. When I'm like, oh, this is hard. Then I'm like, well, it would be harder to keep doing what you're doing now.
So true. One thing I always skip over, not always, but she reminded me of it, is I always tend to come into calls really talking about all the, powerful possibilities that people can get out of Isagenix. And the calls go well. People sign up and everything's all hunky-dory and thumbs up on paper because we're getting enrollments and things like that and building the team. But what actually gets people into action and what actually gets people fired up, based on what Tami just shared, is finding people's pain points and like pointing out where they're in pain in their life in regards to their finances, their lack of time or their health, and really highlighting that pain point so that they can be like, you know what, screw this. I don't want to live like this anymore. Adam's offered me this epic solution. I'm going to take this thing and run with it. And I tend to skip over the pain points and just go straight for the awesomeness.
And it's so weird, isn't it, Adsy? Because you hear it all the time. Like, you've got to get really deep into someone's why. What is the thing that pains them? What is the thing that they really want the most? Is really talk about that with people. And so many times you can just easily skip over that and easily forget that. And
I feel like I know why, and that's because, and I'm sure you could all agree, that's like the most uncomfortable part of the conversation.
Oh, totally.
Because there's mutual vulnerability there. Like, you got to be vulnerable to ask that question and kind of start poking and prodding around to find people's pain points. And that other person has got to be willing to be vulnerable with you to share what's painful in their life, because most people go around, like she said, with a happy face, pretending that there is no pain going on behind closed doors. And yet you've got this person who comes in and starts poking around in the pain points, and it can be seen as a hard conversation, but yet that's the type of conversations that we need to be having as Isogenics associates, as people wanting to change people's lives. Is we need to access that. And if we're too scared to go down that path in our conversations, then personal development is definitely needed for us to be able to have the posture and have the capabilities, I guess, to venture down those paths of conversations with people, because it's what's needed, as Tami just shared.
Awesome. Does anyone else want to share with us what they found? Isn't that cool?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I guess lately it's been
Hang on.
a little bit confusing for me, because you see so many different people on their journey, and people are going at different paces, and you're trying to compare yourself to people, but everyone's doing it a little bit of a different way. So I guess it's hard to kind of choose how you're going to build and just get into action and just do it. But it can be sometimes so hard to choose how you're going to do it when there's so many different influences around you. So that for me was really cool. Just finding what kind of works for me, taking the good. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Just every time you move, you kind of bump your headphones.
One. Sorry, I put my other one in bolognese today. It doesn't work. Yeah, to just find just choose how you're going to build and just do it. So yeah, there's so many influences around us from now 213 millionaires. God, I'm sure they've all done it a different way. Or the leaders in our team, how do they do it? Like Kelvin, you being in a small town and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure you've done it different to how Adam's done it, even though he's helped you along the way and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's so many different influences around us. It's kind of hard to choose and make up your own way to do things. But I guess it just gets to a point where you just need to do it, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just need to put your flair on it and just kind of go for it and run.
Exactly, bro. And
pretty cool.
The only advice I can give you on that is just use your intuition. Like, what's the right way for you to do something. You've just got to do that. It's just use your intuition, and like she said, there's no right or wrong way. Like, I've done a million things wrong. I've done heaps of things, a few things right. Like, just do whatever feels right for you. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Because that's what I had to do, and that worked for me.
Keldo.
Yeah.
In terms of like the how part of this, guys, because I understand that we cover so much amazing content on these calls, but often if you're anything like me, you can get off the end of the call and sometimes feel like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I get what everyone's saying, but how do I do that? The how part's really essential. So to keep it super simple, guys, the cake recipe for the why gives you access to those pain points. There's a question in there specifically that says, how would you feel if you didn't achieve X, Y, Z? And you can accumulate the data throughout the call of what their pain points are. So, you're asking them about their why. They're starting to get a bit deeper with you. The trust is being built. They're telling you what provokes their emotion, and you're jotting this down, so you're like, okay, so she's motivated by giving her kids a good future because she didn't have one. She's motivated by, being a good health example to her kids because her parents died from bad dieting or alcoholism or whatever it was, right? So you're writing all this down, and then when it gets to that point, you can then refer back to it. You can be like, so look, I just wanted to thank you for being so vulnerable with me and opening up about all that stuff. And I really care about helping you. So, you know, all the good stuff that we've covered here, how would you feel if, you know, 16 weeks from now, you weren't being a good example to your kids and you weren't taking care of your health, and that's what they had to go off? How would you feel if you weren't accumulating an extra income to provide them with a better quality of life? And then just let that simmer. Just let them answer. Don't try and jump in with something else, you know. Let them feel that pain. Give them the opportunity to give you detailed answers and accumulate more data. And then the more stuff you have at the end of that call, the more powerful the reason they'll have to start. And then things like President's Packs and stuff like that is a small price to pay for what they're going to get out of that.
Very good, Sammy. Great advice. And excuse me, guys. And like Sammy was just saying, like, use the cake recipe for the why. Use the what? It's a tool. Use the tools, guys. That's the how. Okay, how you do this is using the tools. And I think like finding your own way is it's a major part of it, but it's using the tools to find your own way. Okay. So that's really what I've got to focus on. But anyway, going back, has anyone got anything else they want to share? We've got a few minutes left. So anything else they want to share with us that they got from that call?
Yeah, something that really stood out for me. Hey guys, apologies for the steps down the stairs before I was evacuating the lounge. So the thing that really stood out for me was just that she said that, you know, all the top leaders and the millionaires, they don't really know what they're doing. They're just kind of going blindly into the abyss and just taking like massive amounts of action. I think that kind of really rung true for me, because I think a lot of the time I worry about, you know, am I doing the right thing? I think I overstress on or over fixate on the fact that am I doing the right thing? Whereas I think that just really knocked it for six really, and the fact that you don't have to know what you're doing, you just have to take action and you'll just learn along the way.
Mate, that is spot on. Like, just not overthinking it. Like she said, it's so much simpler now than when she was doing it, but we still overthink shit.
I just off the back of that, I love how she said, you know, she got to 3-star. She didn't even really know what that was, and then said, what was the next step? And they said, well, 5-star. And it's like, well, I don't even know what that is, but I'm going to do it. And it's like, it's just such an example of not being so fixated, like what Sammy said, like spending all of your time researching all of these different ranks or researching all of this, because that's not going to get you the rank. Like, it's the action that gets you the rank. Research what it means later. Research, you know, if you're not necessarily motivated by those bonuses, research how much a bonus is once you've already hit it, and then be like, oh sweet, I got that bonus. Like, don't just spend so much time working out how to do it that you don't actually take any action to do it. And I think one thing off the back of the, you know, it's amazing to use the cake recipe for the why to find other people's pain point. But one thing that stood out for me that Tami said was she just found her pain point quicker than other people. So don't forget to hold your pain point as the center when you're out there helping others find theirs. Because if you don't know why you're being guided, you will just get taken out the next time that someone says no, or the next time the kid's screaming, or you have a headache, or it's cold outside, or it's 6 p.m. Because so many people just get taken off course by any which way. And it's, if you don't have that pain point for yourself, it's so much easier to get distracted. And if you have that pain point for yourself, the other advantage of that is being able to share authentically with others about your pain point, which offers them an opportunity to be open with you to share theirs as well, because they feel comfortable. So I absolutely loved when she said that. She just found her pain point quicker than others. So good.
Following on from that, Bianca, I really loved it when she said, it's not about you, it's about helping others and getting out of your comfort zone. And I know one of the things when you're public speaking, if you fixate on yourself, you can't speak because you're worried about how you feel and how you look and what's happening for you. But if you think about the other people in the audience need to know this information, and so I've got to get it out to them, and it's not about me, it's about them knowing the information. Then you can public speak and you forget about yourself. And this is the same thing, isn't it? It's letting go of yourself and letting go of your own, I suppose, is in a bit of way conceit. Let go that and let other people, let it go, because they need this information. They need to know it more than you do. And you've already got it, and it's essential that they know it, kind of thing. So I really like that. It's not about you, it's about helping others. So it's about, getting out of your comfort zone to help others.
100%. And one thing I got told by Brett Davis. Do you guys all know who Brett Davis is? So Brett Davis is Lynn Hagedorn, fastest person in Isagenix to get to Isagenix Millionaire. She went from $0 to Isagenix cumulative earning of $1 million in 14 months. And then the second fastest in history is Brett and Sammy Davis. They did it in 18 months with no experience. Lynn Hagedorn came in with 8 years experience. Brett and Sammy Davis came in with no experience. Okay, and they did it in 4 months less time, or 4 months more than Lynn did. So when at my first ever corporate event, it was an IC uni, I brought 6 people along with me. There was Josh and Isaac, who were both associates at the time, and they're now executives in our team and whatnot. But back then it was so tiny. And I asked Brett, I said, Brett, what's some piece of information that you got for me? Because I want to go fast. And he said, this is what I got taught, and I'll pass it on to you. And so I'll share it with all you guys. And he said, when you're in action, there is no time and no space for any negative emotion or negative thoughts. And he said, so if you stay in action, right, you will feel empowered. You will feel aligned towards your goals. He said, the moment you stop taking the actions you need to take on a daily basis, then self-doubt will creep in. Then second guessing will creep in. Then overthinking it will creep in. So for all of you guys on there that are overthinking it too much, it's because you're not in action. And I just know that. When you've got time to overthink it, it means that you're not taking the actions that you need to take. And when Brett said that to me, it just made so much sense. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I have times where I'm like getting all negative about myself and whatnot. And then I just instantly remember him saying that. And I go, it's because, Adam, you're not going to the gym towards your ISA body goals. And you're not contacting those 4 people that are waiting for you in your inbox that you need a message back. And it's so true that when you're not in action towards your goals, it allows that negativity to creep in. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it made a massive difference to me. And helped me stop overthinking.
Gold, Edsy.
Yeah, so I asked Annie to write it on, or Annie wrote it on her mirror. I told her to put it somewhere where she can see it. And in a simple sentence, it's just action blocks out all negative emotions. And it's action towards your goals. Because when you're not in action towards your goals, then tell you what, you feel misaligned and you feel down about yourself because you're not doing what you need to do.
Awesome. Hey, well, we've got 5 minutes left. If anyone wants to speak about anything, otherwise we might as well.
Just a hats off to you, Calvo, man. What a phenomenal, unexpected person to interview on a call that I don't think any of us have seen interviewed for that matter. Just rocked our world with that one.
Oh, man.
So I must admit, like I usually, I suppose me and Adzi and the leaders, yourself included, we're old sea dogs in this game as far as New Zealand's concerned. So we hear the same things coming up time and time again, and it's just kind of worded in a different way and reminds us. But there was a lot of fresh content there, bro. I was like, whoa, what the heck? I feel like I'm at my first ISA uni again.
Yeah.
So no, big reminders, bro. Huge impact, man. Thanks so much I know that you had to go out of your way to organise that. Everyone's in prep mode for celebration. So that's off to you, bro. Thanks a lot, man.
I felt like a 6-year-old boy then. I was like, Jesus Christ. You just absolutely gave it to us. That was awesome. It's, It was just so cool, like, because I actually spoke to Leanne Wood, who has done a lot of training with all of us guys, and she said, "Oh, look, I'm flat out. I would love to help you guys, but just can't do it." And she gave me a few names. She said, "Oh, talk to this person, talk to this person." She goes, "Tami Shervey, she is absolutely awesome. Give her a message." And I gave her a message, and she rang me. She goes, "Tami Shervey." I said, "Hey, Tami, we're doing this call," and she just rang me straight away and said, "What do you need? Let's get it done." Blah blah blah. Blah. It was just like, boom. Okay, we're doing this. Sweet. It's tomorrow night. Let's do it. And there we have it, guys. So, like she said, just pick up the phone.
So
pick
good.
up the phone.
And what a first call for you to hear, Ben Medwin. Probably just sitting there with your mind blown off your head blown off your shoulders. First call to come into. Boom.
Awesome, guys. Hey, we'll finish the call there. So lots of love, guys. And, let's hit those Crystal manager ranks, Crystal director ranks, Crystal executive ranks. Let's get it done.
And Kel, can you get that recording up as well into the page? Because whenever I need to kick up the ass, I'm going to watch the first half of that call back, that's for sure.
Oh, boom. There it is. Okie dokie, guys. We'll see you later. Let's all get into it. We're going to pump.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Night.
Good night.